everyone, welcome to WitchSlapped. This is PopWire's AfterShow for the SYFY series Revival. My name is Dani.
I'm Christina.
And this week we are covering episode 5. The title of the episode is Triage, and it is described as follows. With Dana's fate uncertain, Wayne searches for answers as M races the clock to save her. This episode is written by Heather Taylor and directed by Amanda Rowe. Right off the bat, I just want to say this episode was intense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was much happening.
Yeah. It's like one of those shows where you cannot look away from the screen because there's so much happening at once, and little by little they're like giving you puzzle pieces, It's so good.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start our first segment, which is called Who Said It? So you're going to give us a quote from the episode, and then we will let the viewers try to guess. Those of you who have a guess, go ahead and put it in the comments, and then we'll reveal the answer. So, Christina, what is your Who Said It?
All right, mine is going to be, it's a little bit long, so, bear with me. You know what I see? A man who thinks he gets a free asshole pass because his wife died, when the truth is you and I both know you were an asshole long before that.
Well said, well said.
Who
So
you
I think I know the answer.
Let's see.
I think it was the mayor. I can't remember his name, but it was the
Mhm.
mayor. Yeah.
Yep. Correct. Talking about his wife and Wayne not, keeping that information that she's a reviver to himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he brought up the fact that when Wayne's wife passed away in that tragic car accident, the mayor's wife was one of those people that was going to Wayne, making sure he was okay, and he's not really returning any kind of favor in that regard. Yeah. I don't know. If you were in that situation, if you were Sheriff Cypress, I know you would already be doing things completely differently than he is.
Yeah.
But if there was a legal mandate for people to be put on some registry, and again, I think I already know the answer, but what would you do in this case if a friend of yours came to you and was like, hey, I'm a reviver. You know me. Please don't put my name on that list.
Yeah. There's no way in hell I'd put anyone's name on that list. Because I put okay, what if it was me? What if it was someone in my family? Would I want that? And Goldwing doesn't know about him yet. And
yeah.
So curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, me too. I think he's gonna have a change of heart.
Oh, absolutely.
At least that's what I'm hoping.
I think it'll be at first, and he'll be in like denial and stuff, and then I think he'll come and then realize everything he's been doing has been a huge mistake.
Learning that his daughter is a reviver, I'm hoping will bring some humanity into the picture for him, and he will start seeing these people, the revivers, as people, which they are. There's a handful of characters in the show that just they fill me with rage because they're awful, and just the way that they're treating revivers as inhuman, it's just ridiculous. That being said, what are some of your favorite moments from this episode?
One of my favorite moments, I think, was right after Dana woke up and went to visit her. I just love the sister relationship. I feel like the relationship between Dana and Em is really like the heart of the show. So anytime we get to see them together and spend time, and bond, they like had a little sister cuddle session. Like, I've never had a sister, so it always makes me want like that kind of relationship. Like with a sister. I had a brother. Well, I have a brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Very different.
So, I'm sure. I don't have a brother. I actually have 2 sisters. Yeah, I will have to say that sisterly bond is really special. I would have minded to have a brother too. One of my favorite moments in this episode were actually a couple scenes, and they were the scenes with Em and her roommate Kay. They were hilarious. I think that it brought some comic relief that we needed a bit, like it's things have gotten really dark. They've gotten really heavy. But yeah, particularly that scene where convinces Kay to help her and extract that bullet from her back. Oh my
Just
God. Like, I
at
was
the
laughing
beginning.
so hard at that scene. Just the way she was like gagging and like the voice cracking and yeah, awesome scene. Uh it
But
gave me a good
also,
chuckle.
I would say, yeah, same them as well, getting the Aaron's blood on the bullet. Just the same
Sure.
kind of act that she's supposed to be outside creating a distraction. She's like, nah, I'm good. Like, he's fine. In there with M, and it was just hilarious. It's like, if you're in here, you better be able to hang. Like,
Yeah.
don't come in
Yeah.
here if you're gonna be leaving your DNA everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, do not vomit. And it's funny too to see M like she we're seeing like a whole new side of her. Like this stuff is not I don't know if it would have bothered her before, but she's certainly presenting as this person that is just like really gritty.
Mm,
And yeah, I'm really enjoying that for her. It's
yeah,
pretty awesome.
I feel like she's becoming the person she always wanted to be, but couldn't because of her disease, and she had to be so
Hmm.
careful of everything. And now that she doesn't have to be careful like that, she can really dive into who she is.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I think some of my other favorite scenes from this episode was also with Ibrahim because he is out of all of the characters, he has the purest good.
Mhm.
And I really like that in a character. And he just is genuinely kind and he's thoughtful and caring and he wants to make sure that the CDC investigation is an ethical um, investigation. And the way that he has stood up to Dr. Morell when he caught her doing this experimentation, this like super unethical, inhumane um, experimentation on Miles. Yeah. So the way that he stood up to her, the way that he has stood up to the sheriff in the past, and then yeah, and then the governor, right? Um, yeah, I think this story definitely needs a character like him that kind of like keeps that thread, um, that line between good and bad. He really keeps a firm, I think, standard.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I really enjoyed the scenes with him as well.
Yeah, I would say he is the moral compass of the show for
Yes,
sure. Yeah.
yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And like the moral high ground, the ethical high ground, like who they should all be looking to for like how to act in these situations.
Hmm.
But anyway, yes, all the Ibrahim stuff was fantastic.
Hmm.
He, I think he does a great job of really just kind of guiding where everyone should be going and how they
Yes.
should be acting around revivers and towards studying them, doing it ethically.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And then also, I mean, I guess we can move on to the next segment, which is big moments and theories from this episode. Just kind of, going along with what we're talking about with Ibrahim is he's pretty certain that ground zero is more Creek.
Okay.
And right now he's testing what he's calling algae. Whatever it was that grew in that petri dish of his. And so he's trying to figure out what exactly has made it grow. Um, he is sort of, I think, filtering out what would be natural causes. I think that's what we're going, right? Or
Mhm.
at least earthly natural causes. Um, and yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But do you have any big moments or theories that you want to talk about?
Kind of like towards the end with Blaine and his group,
Mm,
with the younger guy getting, branded in a sense. He goes in and he sees this light, he touches it, he comes out, he's got that brand. But I'm curious, like it had the sounds that we keep hearing in the forest.
mhm.
It was another bright light. I'm curious if Moore Creek is ground zero, could they have been potentially below it or near it with that? Because we
Right.
don't know,
Yeah.
and I couldn't tell what kind of building or structure that was that they were in. Um,
Yeah. No idea.
so I wonder how this and how Blaine is tied into all this. I almost feel like he might have brought about the whole revival thing somehow.
Okay. Like
I don't
he
know.
he summoned something or resurrected something
Because
or
he's like,
some
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he's this weird cult leader dude. Like,
yeah.
and they're doing the weird chant and they're touching these weird ethereal like things. Like he's got some tie into it.
Yeah. Yeah, he must. If he is the source of it, and knowing that revivers have, I guess, been risen because of it, shouldn't he take accountability for what he has done rather than creating this whole like religious
But what if he's trying to
fanaticism?
bring about the end of days? So he's like bringing back these people,
Oh, okay.
trying to bring about this whole religious uprising thing. Like I feel like he's trying to bring about this whole culty thing, and like he's
Yeah.
the cause. That not his whole group is the cause, but he particularly, like singularly, is the cause.
Do you think he's trying to take on some sort of role as like a prophet or
Yeah.
something to that effect, or a messiah or something?
Yeah, I could see
Oh,
that
that's
happening.
really interesting.
I mean,
Okay.
I could be completely wrong with this. I just watch a lot of cult things, so I could
Yeah.
see big into cults. Don't want to be in one, but they fascinate me. So I could see some sort of weird tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think you're right. Another big twist in this episode is there's one moment where Sheriff Cypress is sitting with a guy from town. His name is Lester. And Lester starts telling him about some guy that was running through his property, and he's like all upset about it. And he's like describing the clothing and like what kind of flashlight the guy had. And a light bulb goes off for Wayne, and he's like, that was a cop. Right. So he goes to the officer who's leading the investigation of the shooting, which I can't remember his name right now.
Brent.
Brent, that's right. He goes to Brent and he's like, I need you to run ballistics on all of the police officers' guns. And then towards the end of the episode, we learn that McRae has been arrested because his gun, his firearm matched, whatever it is they found at the scene, which I'm assuming is the bullet that M planted. And then they open his trunk because they arrested him while he was sitting in his car. They open his trunk and there's a bunch of like styrofoam ice chests with body parts in it. What the hell is going on?
I feel like he's being framed.
Okay.
But I could be completely wrong, just because he wasn't the guy that we saw. So he could be causing him, but I feel like he's being framed.
Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. I would say, like, we were told by Luke that there's a lot of things that happen in every episode that you might not think anything of. So people who are watching this episode of WitchSlapped right now, go back, rewatch the episode. There are some clues as to what might be to come with this whole investigation. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna get interesting. So the next segment is called Caption This. Each week ahead of the episode that airs, PopWire releases a snapshot photo from that episode, and then we ask you, the audience, to send in your captions. So let's check out those for this week. All right, so that was our caption this for this week. Thank you so much for your submissions. If you want to participate, again, each week we will post up a picture on our socials. So make sure you follow PopWire on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Our handle is at PopWireNet. And as soon as you see that photo pop up, go ahead and comment below with your caption, and we will put it on next week's episode. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my Who Said It. And my quote for this week is, "We are not making Caesar salad here."
Not making Caesar salad here.
Oh, we're going to.
I'm like, I gotta look at my memory.
Yeah, it's really random, but it does actually have significance.
Like, I vaguely remember it, but I cannot remember the context whatsoever. You got me stumped on this one.
Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. Em says this to Kay while she's like taking that bullet out of her back. Remember after she pulled out the knife, she like reaches for the tongs.
That's
She's
right.
about to use the tongs to get the bullet, and was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not making Caesar salad here. Like, just use your fingers." Yeah. Again, that whole thing just cracked me up.
Yeah. So that's probably why I think I laughed through it very hard, and so I like half heard it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about the performer of our episode. Who was your favorite performer for this week's episode?
I have two. I'm gonna go with Romy Weltman because of those hilarious scenes. But I'm also gonna go with Andy McQueen because I think he does a really good job in his scenes, especially standing up about the torture and everything. I think those were really powerful scenes, and I think he did a great job with those.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you with both of those picks. So for this week, I chose someone a little bit different than I've been picking. I picked Maya Jo Batistas. She plays Kay, the roommate, and I just had to pick her because she was so hilarious in this episode. And again, it was like a much needed comic relief for all the dark shit that's been happening. So yeah, she was really great. I'm glad we got to see more of her and we got to see like another side of her. And I hope that she will contribute more in the future as well.
Absolutely. I really look forward to seeing more scenes with her and Em like working together in the same way. 'Cause it was very like Bonnie and Clyde like.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so my recap of the episode is up on PopWire's website right now. You can click the link in the description below to read it. Revival airs Thursdays at 10/9 Central on SYFY, and episodes are available to stream on Peacock a week after they air on SYFY.
Yes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can hang out with us again next week, immediately after the episode airs. We'll be here to talk all about what happens in the 6th episode of the season. You don't want to miss it. And be sure to keep an eye out for an exclusive interview that PopWire got with Stephen Ogg. He plays the villain in this series, or one of the villains, Blaine Abel. You don't want to miss it. All right, I think that's it. Thank you again for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. I'm Dani.
I'm Christina.
Bye.